my getting it right or wrong was always a very small matter. I mean, we are small people with our little small egos. But, one thing I've realized doing some forecasting in this country for years, when you get it right, people applaud you and then forget about it in 24 hours. If you get it wrong, people remember it for 24 years. So I've got it right this time. And it's a matter of 24 hours. It's not something very big. And uh, these things happen to my mind. That's not the real story. For
Hmm.
me, the real satisfaction is number one, that the electoral system still works in this country. To be absolutely honest, I had dreadful last 48 hours after the exit
Hmm.
polls. Not because I believe the exit polls, I must say. I said, and I went public yesterday saying clearly why I completely disagree with all the exit polls. But my real dread was that something else has been, that some manipulation may have taken place, and that exit polls may have been there to cover it up. It's a very bad
Hmm.
accusation, and I apologize for that. I've been
Hmm.
proven wrong, and I'm so happy that I'm proven wrong. That EVMs work, that the way people vote is reflected in the outcome. That's a great thing for our country, for our democracy. And the biggest of all, Barkha, is that this country has won. Democracy has won. In Hindi, I would say, Yashwant would understand because he's a Hindi wala like me. Uh, Tantra par lok ki vijay ho. Is loktantra. The
Hmm.
tantra, the system that sought to emasculate everything in this democracy. What kind of a contest did we see? Where one party has the entire media lined up to be its spokesperson, where one party has 100 times more resources than anyone else, where one party controls the entire machinery from administrative to police to ED to, unfortunately, even the election commission. And in that kind of a contest, if the ruling party ends up with a figure of 240, there cannot be more humiliating defeat. I said it on your show last time, Barkha, that if BJP gets one seat less than 300, it's a moral defeat. If they
Hmm.
get one seat less than 272, it's a political defeat. And if they get one seat less than 250, it's a personal defeat for the prime minister. And I think all three have happened today. It's a
So you
very
are,
big day in our country.
so you are saying this is a personal defeat for Modi?
Personal defeat as well. Indeed. Barkha, the simple logic is, suppose BJP was where the exit polls said BJP would be. Who would be credited? Who would we be talking about? What would Yashwant Bhai be speaking about? What would everyone else be speaking about? And not to mention all these anchors of these channels, the notional media. I don't call it national media, it's notional media.
Hmm.
The notional media would have been saying Modi, 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 Modi. So the simple logic is the one who would have got the credit is the one who has to take the blame. So clearly, it is Modi's personal defeat because he staked everything on it. And it is indeed a clear political defeat of the BJP, given the circumstances. If the Indian cricket team, which is going for T20 and has a match with the American cricket team, which was born yesterday, and if Indian cricket team in the 19th or the 20th over manages to win the match, would you call it a victory or defeat? So
I,
yes,
I,
NDA has numbers more than 272, but that is clearly it's a mandate against the NDA, mandate against the BJP, mandate against the Prime Minister.
I'm going to come to Yashwant in just a moment, but I'm very relieved that you did say that your accusation about the electoral process was an unfair one, was a misplaced one. Because the one thing that I said it on Twitter, ki jo bhi jeete, jo bhi hare, somehow I had that faith. I had that faith always in the electoral process. And if the one thing I take away, Yogendra ji, is that the voter of India is irrepressible. किसी से नहीं डरती, किसी से नहीं डरता. And आज मुझे जो लगता है बार बार चुनाव में आई थिंक वंस आई शेयर्ड दिस विद यू कि लोगों ने कहा आक्रोश नहीं अंकुश कि ठीक है हम दिस इज नॉट वी आर नॉट रेजिंग अगेंस्ट द प्राइम मिनिस्टर बट वी डोंट लाइक अनब्राइडल्ड पावर इवन बीजेपी वोटर्स made this point.
Yes, Barkha, one clarification. I actually never made that accusation. I have revealed to you my personal apprehension, which I
Okay.
did because, as you
Okay.
know, for
Yes.
10 years, I have carried out a personal crusade against the EVM conspiracy theories. All my friends are annoyed with me. They said in 2019, Modi won because of EVM. I said no. people of India voted for him. Let's accept this reality.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
have carried out a personal crusade against EVM conspiracy theories, and I'm so very happy and relieved that this continues to be the case. I must confess, and that's the confession I made. In the last 48 hours, I had this apprehension. Even last night, when people spoke to me, I said, no, I don't still believe it, but let the results come. So it was not an accusation. I wouldn't make it, and I'm so happy that it hasn't come about. On the second thing, I really think what you're saying is indeed the story of the election. Opposition parties have done well. They will take credit. They should take credit. But the real credit should go to the public, to ordinary people. They actually fought more than opposition parties. Honestly, opposition parties didn't have the space to do anything. They were worried about whether there would be ED raid tomorrow, whether their accounts will work, whether their chief minister would be taken away, whether their candidate will surrender the ticket tomorrow. In that situation, and then not to speak of the nasty letters from the election commission, which incidentally has performed an utterly shameful and disgraceful role in this election. So, in the face of all this, opposition parties were very severely constricted. It's the people who came out, and as you said, Ankush, if someone in UP told me something, I may have said it on your show earlier. I
Hmm.
asked him कि मोदी जी दो पंचवर्षीय कर चुके हैं, अब तीसरी पंचवर्षीय मांग रहे हैं, which is to say tenure, second tenure, third मांग रहे हैं.
Hmm.
What do you think? He said, देखिए, जब हम प्रधान बनाते हैं तो पहली बार वो प्रधान डर के सीधा काम करता है, दूसरी बार उसको प्रधान बना देते हैं तो वो गोली देना सीख जाता है, 2 नंबर के
Hmm.
काम करता है, और तीसरी बार बना देते हैं तो सर पे चढ़ के डंडा चलाता है. This wisdom of the Indian electorate has finally trumped prevailed. And if we are not seeing a result where BJP is down to 100 seats or so, it is simply because of the huge structural advantage that BJP began with,
Hmm.
continued to hold on to, and the various limitations that opposition suffered from. But it is clearly a massive political defeat, undoubtedly.